I'm Joseph von Benedikt with Shooting Times magazine, and we're starting on a project here for our November cover. The article is on guns and gear for doomsday preppers. This is a stag rifle that we're going to spray paint. Now, I've never done this before, but I've been doing a little bit of research, and I'm sure we can learn as we go. We're starting with a general purpose primer, basically an auto body primer, because it'll etch into the material and reduce flaking. But first we have to degrease it. So I've got some gunk out degreasing spray here, high pressure spray to help me get in the cracks and crevices. We'll use some acetone, cleaning patches and whatnot. First I'm removing any small parts that I don't want to get paint into. I'll just take those off, we won't paint them at all. Now, you can disassemble a gun completely and do a very beautiful job of painting it with a high endurance type finish such as Duracoat or one of the ceramic based finishes. That's not our purpose here. This is something that you can just do quickly to reduce the black look of your gun, break up the outline, give it a little bit of camouflage. This project will probably take up the biggest part of a day, possibly 2 days, as we apply different layers of camouflage paint. After the auto body paint, we're going to go to a Krylon camouflage paint available at any Walmart because it's matte finished and it dries pretty quickly. So depending on how it goes, we should be able to finish by tonight. When we're finished degreasing it, we'll mask off anything like this front sight that I don't want to get paint on. We have degreased this rifle with acetone. Then we hit it with a good degreaser under some pressure to wash off all the lint left by the rag, get any cracks or crevices. We're going to let it dry good, air dry it a little bit with a high pressure hose, and then we're ready to start painting it. Right, moment of truth. We have the gun degreased, delinted, and we're about to start spraying it down with the primer. We'll see how she looks here in a few minutes. So far so good, that's going on nicely. This is coming along nicely. It's actually going on easier and more evenly than I anticipated, which is always a pleasant surprise. And I'll tell you what, that's looking awesome. Just give it a good once over to check for weak spots that need touching up. And now we wait. You want to let this paint dry completely. Let the solvents flash out of it before you apply your next coat, just to make sure that you don't get separation. Right, here we are several hours later. This base coat has all dried. Once again, this is an automotive primer that etches itself nicely into the anodizing and the plastic parts of a rifle. We're now going to start putting patterns down. We've got several different organic patterns here we've just pulled from the area around. We've got leaves, we've got some grasses, we've got a piece of rope, and we're just going to do kind of an urban camouflage, desert camouflage look. The trick is, of course, usually you want to put your lightest coats on first and end up with your darkest coats, but if we want to show some leaves or grasses on there, we'll need to put that green down first, and then we hold the grasses or whatnot against or near the gun and spray through it with the tan color so that the outline of the leaves is actually in green and the background then appears to be tan.
This paint goes on quite a bit more quickly, more aggressively than the auto body primer that we used. So you have to be a little bit more careful about runs and drips and such things. I'm going to wait and do the magazine last of all so that I've got a place to maintain control. I think what we'll do now is just give it a few minutes to surface dry, and then we'll lay it on some cardboard and put some organic patterns down. All right, we're going back to the tan here. And we're pretty much going to end up with the dark colors here reversed out. So this part will be tan soon. This will be darker with some reed type lines across it. We'll see if we can make this look as good in reality as it does in our minds. Moment of truth. That turned out kind of cool. Tricky thing is keeping it from moving once you've got it placed. Nice.
The great part about doing one of these jobs right in your home environment or the environment you're going to be using the firearm in is that you can choose basically natural organic stencils from the area such as these. We've just cut off a couple branches from the woods nearby. We've got some long stalks of various sorts that work great for making shadow patterns and so on. You just lay them over it. Spray carefully and gives you a pretty pleasing pattern. A little bit of trial and error will help you find something you really like. All right, I think we're wrapped up. We've got a pattern we really like here. We're just going to let it dry. The cool thing about a job like this is how inexpensive it is. You start with a can of acetone and auto body primer from your local auto parts store. It costs you about 15 bucks or less, and then go with the camouflage paints from Walmart. There's another additional 15 bucks, and you're really out only about 30 bucks for an entire job like this and an afternoon of fun.